is no stranger to Malaysia. She is in the Faculty of Language and Linguistics in the Department of Asian and European Languages, University of Malaya. She is also the head of Japanese language course, University of Malaya, and also the career development advisor for those interested in the Japanese work environment. Ms. Nawata Sanai is a social activist and also a teacher of Beppu Elementary School. She had been a supervisor to the Oita Prefectural Social Education Center and a member of the Circle of Japanese Composition. Without further ado, let's start our session. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Dozo.
Arigatou gozaimashita. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's on, okay. Distinguished guests, I'm quite blurred actually, for suddenly I have to moderate myself. That is actually, I am very, very much nervous if Prof. Omar sit next to me, because he is like a seafood to me, and suddenly just to sit next to him make me very nervous and I don't know what to say. So he said it's better you moderate yourself, Zoraida. So here am I today. My name is Zoraida. Today I will talk about Japan's policy on regional revitalization. Actually, this is a very new field to me, because I'm from Japanese language and culture background, and I have not, have any proper, education on the regional development, but as graduate students in international development and cooperation in Hiroshima universities, yes, I was exposed with many kind of development in, of course, Asian region and Japan as well. So I'm very flattered and honored to talk in front of all distinguished professors and scholars. This is very heavy. Okay, and I'm not sure what I can, what I'm going to share today, how it could help the Kampung Mizan research, but I do hope somehow it could give us some positive reference in moving forward from whatever the issue that we are discussing today. And together with me, I have Dr. Date. She's my lovely friend. I've known her since 1997 when I first served Malaya University. She's really a dear of me and my mentor as well in Japanese language education. And Ms. Nawata, who made her time in a very limited time. She's also furthering her studies in Oita University, but we begged her to come, at least to present the group. So basically today I will talk about Japan's policy, and we will put up a case study of Juzudama project in Beppu city in Oita prefecture. This might sound slightly different with what Kampung Mizan is all about today, but I think there are some part here and there that we can use as a reference for the whole project. And me, for the first time, when I was in Japan, it was in 2001 actually, when I was approached by JICA to become their interpreter for one of the training program for Malaysian government staff in Japan. And that moment actually was the first time I get to know the word chikikase, that means regional activation. And I don't know why the regional activation is a need at that time, until I went to this very small town, I can say. It's Shobara city in Hiroshima prefecture, about 100 kilometers away from Hiroshima city. And it was in 2001 when I visited the town. That time, Shobara was already facing the aging society problem, and the local agencies started to plan on how to sustain the city and prevent the migration of young generation to bigger cities and invite more younger generation to move into the city. I remember visiting a very nicely built primary school with only 40 pupils year 1 to year 6, only 40 pupils. And I also remember walking across the street in the middle of the afternoon, and all I saw was old ladies pushing their shopping carts along the streets on their way home. There's no young people. Probably the younger people would serve the government authorities in the town. And during one of our meeting with the Municipal City Council, I get to know about this Ciki Kasih, that it is a part of the policies and plan that has been implemented to bring out the best of the town and reach out people outside of the town to come and experience the city's specialties. So from that point, actually, when I joined the workshop for Kampung Mizan, I thought, oh, maybe we can look into these policies. I mean, the plan for, it is reactivation, it is revitalization. But for once, it was active. But for here in Malaysia, probably it's just the first wave for us. So talking about that, and we could see that currently Japan is facing a very serious falling birth rate. And it's already announced, and it has been a problem decades. Even nowadays, we can see they are also having foreign workers in many fields in Japan. And these, with the advanced medical treatment, we can also see that it resulted a longer life among Japanese. And of course, it will cause the aging society. And in 2010, the 60 years above population had reached 23.1% and predicted increase to 39.6% in 2050. And if you look at a part of this, there's also another issue. I'm so sorry because Hokkaido just got lost from my map. I don't know where that does go. There's only 3 islands there. It's supposed to be 4. Perhaps Hokkaido just don't want to be here today. So as we can see, that is the density, the population density. The rate are the alarming place. And you can see those are the big cities such as Tokyo, Saitama, Kanagawa. And according to the Internal Affairs and Communication Ministries 2015 demographic report, only 8 of the prefectures gained population last year, while 39 others suffering a decline. And Tokyo metropolitan area, could be Saitama, Chiba, and Kanagawa, have had this population gain since 20 years in a row. It has been 20 years in a row, and the margin is nearly 120,000 every year. So we can see that the population is getting dense. I mean, the people, despite of all the things we are talking about, people still migrate to bigger cities. And instead of these 2 major issues, another alarming problem is on the mass migration, okay, from the urban area. We can see that. And a part of that, I think, that made the current Prime Minister, Mr. Abe Shozo, to renounce the regional revitalization plan in 2014. It has already been there actually since early 2000, like I have mentioned just now. When I visited the Shobara city, early 2000, people are already aware about it. It is just that this is a recap by 2015, considering, I think, the latest statistical data. And under Abe's cabinet, he announced the key agenda, and this regional revitalization is one of his key agenda. And in 2015 National Governors Association meeting, there is a demand on the budget raised, but on the 2016 fiscal budget, they managed to get 100 billion yen to support the regional revitalization itself. And still, the governor is saying that it is not sufficient. Okay. And of course, also the establishment of officers in local agencies and authorities to support the implementation at the community level. Okay, to look into how it works, the system, this is how, basically this is just a model of how it works. It started with the region, and then in the region, of course, active participation by private business and corporate, like what we have now with Bank Islam perhaps, and of course the regional public agencies at the council level will discuss in detail and granted the permission of action with certain amount of grant. And then at the lower level, as we can see, the region public agencies will collect all these plans and data. There are currently more than 100 reports on the regional revitalization distributed by METI, or Ministry of Economic, Trade and Industry, Japan. As we can see, okay, this is actually the distribution. Pardon me for the map is quite small and quite hard to look at, but it's actually the distribution of this 100 project. And you can see the color is just the region's color, okay? And there are many interesting projects. I think I spent like 4 or 5 hours to go through all these documents, and I was just attracted by each project. They have this Aoi Lemon, the blue lemon, and they have this Hapa business, the business of Hapa business. What is Hapa? Leaves, okay? Leaf business, drinks, and so many ideas. They come with so many ideas. And I think what Dr. Dati and Ms. Nawata will present for us today is a part of the case study on the Juzudama project. But unfortunately, this Juzudama project was initiated in 2012. That was before the 2014 announcement of the regional revitalization policies in 2014. So they did not get the grant from the government, but they did get the grant from the private sectors. Okay, on the policy-wise, there are many types. I think there are, the policies actually would differ according to the districts and region, because it will be catered due to the needs of the regional. But this is what I can say the universal or the general policies that is implemented in most of the region. The first one is a special grant to promote the formation. Of course, the country, the cabinet will grant some money, and supporting taxation system, interest subsidy, special taxation for reinforcement of local businesses, formation of compact village. The compact village basically means a very small village, but it's complete. When I say complete, of course, the Wi-Fi is also there. The internet is also there, and the road is also, well, I mean, the infrastructure is the basic, the fundamental needs is properly there. And formation of lifelong activities, or Shogai Katsuyaku township. This kind of township actually a kind of town that would give the opportunity to work. I mean, they, even after the retirement, they still can continue working, I mean, to get income from the living. And the next one is land diversion procedure and facilities diversion procedures. On the land, I think what Juzudama project will present today is very much can be put into the frame of formation of lifelong activities township, and another one is land diversion program, because the job steers is planted in the area that was once paddy field. Okay. Last but not least, before passing this mic to my lovely friends here, please allow me to recap 5 basic principles that underlies the regional revitalization policies. This is actually based on my reading and my observation from Japan. I know it would be very different with Malaysian situation. We might not be able to apply, I mean, most of it maybe, but somehow I think we can put them into different perspective, and still I think it could be a good reference for us, Malaysia, to move forward from here. So the first one, when they are thinking about the policy, is about reformation of regional industries, rebirth or reformation of primary industries, producing local special product, reforming local special product. The second one is creating new values in the region. Of course, when we say new values, it doesn't mean that, we are creating a very new one, but I think preserving the old one, while at the same time we have to move forward, because whether we like it or not, generation keep expanding, and people of course will need work, and of course will need internet, even in hometown. Not my grandmother, but my aunties kat kampung pun, they also do Facebooking with me, chatting with you. So whether you like it or not, it's irresistible. And it's one of the ways is that refining the values through regional activation, establish new industries if there's a chance. If no, then we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. Branding, of course, this is very important, like Patin Temerloh, we brand it, and township, a proper township. The third one is inviting people to the region, regional activation through tourism, and rediscover and utilize resources in the region, reaching people through social interaction. I think one in my kampung, I am from Felda Sungai Koyan, and I have this Kuala Medang. It's very kampung, rural area, far away in Pahang, and we have this homestay. And I used to have these many foreigners coming into Kuala Medang and helping the people in Kuala Medang to, get some economic and promoting the area. And for your information, it is still untouched, okay, surfacely. But I don't know what happened inside the, hutan belantara. Okay. Another one is on the fourth is preserving the region. This is very important, as what I have heard about Sri Menanti last night. It was so beautiful, and of course, it's very important to preserve the region. But how do we preserve the region? We cannot rely on the government bodies at all. Of course, there is an importance to create and maintaining the region by the community itself. So here, the community that is created by the residents, and the community that is linked to the outside world. If you're not linked, you're just living in the community. I don't know how it could happen, but still, the linkage to the outside world would be very important agenda here also. And last but not least, the establishment is led by the local government and agencies. I don't know how is this going to happen in Malaysia, because there's so many political issues. I'm not interested in that, but I do hope that we can learn from Japan on this part. And then the last one is the sustainable life in the region. You don't have to go out from the region. We need to have a sustainable life in a way that we have to maintain the basic needs, service, and infrastructure. When we say infrastructure, it's including electricity, clean water supply, and of course road, and of course for health, welfare, and sustainable living, maintain, sustain medical and welfare system, educating people, new concept and system that made the generation. When it comes to educating people, this is very crucial issue actually. I had a long talk with my friend Ms. Nawata last night, because she's from the education background as well, and I think she might have some ideas to share with all of us after this, on how education play roles in raising the awareness among Japanese in preserving the village and kampung life value. And in one of my chat with her last night, she mentioned about nowadays that the people in urban area, in town, they would like to go back to the kampung because kampung has nothing to offer. Not because kampung has so many things to offer, they want to go back because kampung has nothing to offer. And I doubt that, because if you ask me whether I want to go back to my birth town, it's in Kuala Kerai, Kelantan, I would think twice. But if you ask me whether I want to stay in Shobara, Japan, definitely I will say yes. It's kampung, but I think you can get the picture of how is it. So I think it's about the mentality, our way of accepting this development, the physical development, and actually the values there is the key of, most of my talk today. And with that, I would like to pass my mic to my dear friend here, Dr. Datte.
Selamat petang. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 皆さんこんばんは in Japanese. I'm Kumiko Date, and this is Sanae Naota. First of all, we'd like to say a sincere thank you to Professor Tan Sri Dato Zulkifli Abdul Razak, Dr. Mazam Abdul Mutalib, Professor Emeritus Dato Dr. Food Mohammed Saleh, I'm so sorry, and ICKM committee for taking the time to give us such a wonderful and valuable experience. So I'm going to start to introduce my project to you. This is a map of Japan, maybe you know. So we came here from Kyushu. So Kyushu consists of 7 prefectures. And Oita Prefecture, this place is this project's birthplace. Okay. The Oita Prefecture also consists of 16 cities, and this project was established at the Beppu city. Have you ever heard the name of Beppu city? Yes. Beppu city is very famous for hot springs. And the Beppu hot spring is among the 5 best hot springs in Japan. That's why every year we have many visitors from all over the world. Okay. Well, at first, the Juzudama project was established in April 2012 by 6 women who participate in Oita Women's Future Conference. And in this conference, our group discussed about the problem of senior citizens, because we are also senior citizens, and we discussed to work on activities that link the social activities to income. Our project was received subsidy of 10,000 ringgit from the Kirin Welfare Foundations in 2014, and 12,000 ringgit from Red Weather Company, Red Weather Foundation in 2015. Sorry. Okay. And do you know Juzudama? Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Juzudama is job tiers in English, and biji tasbib in Bahasa Melayu. Okay. So people say, as its shape looks like a tier, it was named for jobs tiers. Well, what is Juzudama project? Our motto is to make the most of all possibilities and abilities. This means we will re-evaluate certain things in our lives that were once commonplace, but now are almost forgotten. We focused on desolated fields, Juzudama, antique kimono, and women's skill. We aim to reintroduce them and find the best way to utilize them. Finally, we aim cyclic community business of agriculture, community activation, and social welfare. Like then, I would like to explain cycle community business, the process of this cycle community business. Okay. At first of all, we plant Juzudama in the desolated fields in March with the help of a farmer. This links to agriculture. Ordinarily, Juzudama is a wild grass, so we need not take care of them until harvest. They grow very fast and very strong, and they grow up 180 centimeters. Harvest is from September to October. Harvested juzudama is transported to the rehabilitation center in Beppu City. As a work of functional recovery, processing of juzudama and making of comfort tree chips, which have effect on relaxation, are done there. I'll show you later. This is juzudama and comfort tree. Yes, please. Okay. In this center, people who are undergoing rehabilitation put these comfort tree chips and juzudama into plastic bags. And this is an activity for social welfare. Juzudama and the chip-filled plastic bags are returned to the group of senior citizens, and they put juzudama and chips into otedama bags, which are made of beautiful antique kimono, to finish each otedama. Okay. It's okay. Please show the inside. Okay, I'll show you this one. Okay. So we call this place Otedama Factory. Otedama Factory is a special place where they can meet easily and enjoy doing things together. Especially, it is a very good place for isolated people who live alone and cannot be a part of a community. And it also gives them great pleasure, even though the wages are low. Okay. Finished otedama are sold at Japanese-style hotel Okamotoya, Beppu Station souvenir shop Ichiza, and some event venues in Beppu City. One otedama is almost 10 ringgit. One set for 3 otedama with kimono bags is almost 15 ringgit. This one. Okay. Sell. Yes, sell it. Together, yes. 50 ringgit together, one set. Okay. And product sales of 2015 was almost 6,800 ringgit. And we produced about 350 otedama. And almost 2,100 ringgit has been paid to 25 participants from the sales. It means about almost 80 ringgit per person has been paid. Through these sales, many tourists and people will know about Beppu City and Oita Prefecture. This links to community activation. After a few year activities, sadly, various problems were made clear, needless to say. So main problems are product improvement, expansion of the sales network, and increased sales. Even though all senior citizens who join this project are interested in sewing, it does not mean their sewing skill is quite high. There is a difference in skill, and some otedama may not sell as a commodity. So in order to improve product, we are trying to hold a sewing workshop regularly, or to set up an examination division. To do expansion of the sales network, we are investigating all the good places to catch the attention of a lot of people. And we are also planning to do internet sales. Our aim is to return the profit to the senior citizens. This is quite important point. But at the present, we cannot distribute the wages effectively. So to increase sales, we are thinking of reviewing of pricing. But this review does not mean we are going to reduce the price. It is an idea to provide 10% of, excuse me, so what was it? Okay, 10% of the price will be donated to welfare work. As far as we can produce a good quality otedama, and we can inform the intent of our activities faithfully, I'm sure and we believe that it is possible to increase sales. Okay. By the way, for community activation, we are also planning to tackle another products such as Japanese papers. This one. Yes, sure, please. Okay. Japanese papers which made from juzudama stalks and leaves. And juzudama teas. Juzudama teas are very good for health. And at last, in Japan, it is well known that otedama is very good for the brain. So it is proven by Dr. Nakahara, who is a medical advisor of the Juzudama project. Therefore, the number of a nursing home and a nursing care center which utilize our otedama as a dementia prevention program have been increasing. So today, Ms. Nawata will introduce you to our otedama and how to play it. So if you don't mind, let's activate our brain together.
Wani boleh. Pardon me for not being able to speak English well. She was speaking Japanese. I will help you translating the points to all the members. Yes. Currently, our staff, our committee is distributing the otedama to every one of you. I hope everybody can get it. You should have a pair of otedama. A pair of otedama. Okay. Yes. Yes. It must be a pair. Must be two. Yes. Okay. Oh, I don't have to translate this. I think your action is good enough. Yes. Gu pa. Yeah. It has a good smell. Okay. Try it again.
Okay. At comfort tree chips.
Small one. 3 tears. All right. That's new for me. Comforting 3 chips. Yes, comforting 3 chips for relaxation. Yeah, you can smell as well. Can you listen to the sound of the juzudama? That's a different with the other type of otedama. There are many other types of otedama that have different contents, but the juzudama had this sound. Okay, please use your right hand. Just right hand. But But for those who are using left-handed, you're left-handed, you can use the left hand. Right-handed people, use the right hand. Okay.
ではやってみましょう。10回ゆっくり投げます。せーの。
Slowly, slowly.
一緒に。
4、5、6、7、8、9。Yes.
OK。次は反対の手。
Next is the other hand. Okay. This is quite difficult because it's the other hand. Yes.
では行きます。一緒に行きます。
Okay, let's try together.
せーの。1、
2、 3、
4、
5、6、7、8、9。Oops! Okay.
指先は脳をとても活性化します。
It's very good because we are using the fingertips. It will stimulate our brain.
なぜならば、指先を使うと脳の神経の繊維が増えます。
When we use our fingertips, it will increase our brain nerve fibers. Yes, the brain nerve
そ
fibers.
して神経繊維が増えることで情報の伝達が速くなります。
When the nerve fibers increase, it will give us, the transfer of, they will fire each other. Macam sel-sel bergabung, sel-sel otak bergabung.
年齢が高くなるとどうしてもその速度が遅くなります。
When we get older, of course, the speed is becoming slower. I don't know. That's what she said, not what I say. Okay.
指先を使うことでそれをゆっくり。
Yes, when we use the otedama, so we can delay the process. That's what she said, huh?
で
Okay.
は、続けて運動をちょっとしてみましょう。
Okay, let's try other activities.
上に上げました。次は下向きです。
Next is you drop and catch. Change your hand. Okay. 2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. A little difficult, I think. Quickly. This is quite difficult. 難しい。頑張りましょう。1、2、3、6、7、8、9、10。So it's very similar to our batu seremban in Japan. Malaysia will be very good at it. So, 5、6、7、8、9、10. Asyik jatuh je. Tak betul. Alright. Lambung, clap, and pick up. Sa, si, go, roku, siji, hachi, you. Okay. Now you have to clap twice. This is challenging. Okay. 1、2、3、4、5. Can you do that? Okay, next is we make it round. Okay. If you use the right hand, throw and pick up with the right hand. Okay, all right. Ni, shi, do, roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. Okay, fast, fast. Okay, next we have a song together with this.
Actually, I don't like the singer song. I have never been to karaoke before, but today is a very, very special day for me. I'll try. Okay. So,こぎつねこんこん山の中山の中草の実つぶしてお化粧したりもみじのかんざしつでのくし次は反対回ししてみましょう。左手で投げてそう左手で投げてそうOkay, let's do. Okay, 1, 2, 3. はい。こぎつねこんこん冬の山冬の山枯葉の着物じゃうるにも見えずきれいな模様の花もなし
Thank you for a very nice song and the demonstration by Miss Namata. Oh, okay. It is actually a present from the Jujudama project to all of the participants of this conference. Please activate your brain. Okay. So, are we all done? Last page. Okay, we have one last slide from Dr. Dante.
Thank you very much. This is our symbol mark. The shape is the same as Juzudama. And our symbol mark, this mark represents getting people together. So we are working seriously on this project to support the senior citizens in an aging society. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guests are leaving right now, but we will continue. I've just checked with the panel. One panel member has to leave now, as she has to get to the airport to get a flight that leaves at 8. So we'll say goodbye to her. Thank you so much for teaching a new skill. Hopefully this will keep our dementia checked. Okay, many of us are in denial, but that's okay. We work with it. The two panel members are willing to take 2 questions. If anyone has clarified questions. Okay, we have a question there.
South America in domesticated fields, does not probably naturalized in Japan. I don't think it's originally from Japan. I could be wrong about that. Do you know? I think it's from South Asia. Do you know?
Yes, I know the original is not Japan, but there are a lot of Juzudama in Japan, especially in the countryside. So that's why
Naturalized.
naturalized. Yes, that's right.
Now, second comment, and then I'll give up the mic. Not the ghost, I'll give up the mic. The idea of the people not wanting to go back to the Congo or, the small towns. I noticed that was the case in a lot of these industries. Not only are people getting old, but it's what you said. I mean, the young people don't want to go back, so that's because they don't think there's enough good things there like health education, and so they move to Tokyo or Kansai. So it's not just that people are getting old. The young people just aren't interested in staying behind in the countryside. So that was something I noticed with the lacquerware, and the old people that are making lacquer still in Djibouti, and that's in Tuanku. They're encouraged by this program, government revitalization program, also, and the money is being poured into it, but it's very hard to keep the young people there. And so there is actually one young man from Tokyo who moved there, and he's learning how to make lacquer. It's a long process, an apprenticeship. It takes about 5 years. So it may be ironic that the people who eventually will go back to the countryside weren't from there originally. Maybe they'll be people looking for a different kind of work. Artisans could be. Do you have any reflections on that?
何かコメントはありますか？そうですね。先生じゃあ教えて。じゃあ日本語でまずそうですね。すいません。In Japanese, I'm sorry. She will translate to you. 日本の場合にも同じように、年を取った方が、たくさん住んでいて若い人たちがいなくなるという現象はたくさん起きていますが、その中で小学校の小さい頃からこうしたトラディショナルな遊びであったりそれを通して、自分の故郷を大切に思う気持ちというのを育てていくというのもこのプロジェクトの一つだというふうに思っています。その成果はまだ今現れていませんけれどもロングタームで考えたときに、そういうことも目指していきたいというふうに考えています。
I think there's slightly miscommunication there. Okay, but I do get, both. I do get the ideas from both the ideas. Thank you very much for the insight, Prof. Because I do know that yes, the young generation they do not want. They don't go back because there's not enough attraction in the rural areas. But as what Dr. Date mentioned just now. That currently even the government and the community are very aware of it, and the aging society is very alarming, and they are trying to educate, to create this awareness from the early childhood. So they're having the community-based learning to, somehow educate the younger generation to appreciate the culture and the values in this small town perhaps, and maybe it could not prevent, because somehow they still need to go out actually to learn and experience the out life, but at least to make them have this kind of very special feeling to come back to the town in future. Okay.
Dr. Dade, thank you very much. I'm Jerry Boringa, and I just have a question about the antique kimono. I was sharing your disappointment that only 6,800 ringgit had been generated. And it seems to me that if you're going to do community revitalization, you have to have an enterprise that really is innovative and brings in good revenue. And I just wanted to mention that antique kimonos are very highly valued in the West. You go on eBay and you put kimono, and the lots of them for sale at high prices. But also designers, particularly in America, but also in Europe, are using, cutting up, just like you do for these, cutting up kimonos and making very beautiful designer cushions. And I've seen them on sale in America, in Bloomingdale's and Saks Fifth Avenue, very high end. And for the same amount of kimono that you make 10 of these with, you could probably make one cushion front, you know, with a tie of beautiful Japanese thread, and you just need a distributor on that. And I think it's a different kind of concept. I think you need to work with very good Japanese fabric designers, homewares designers, who will work with your regional scheme, and then you move out of what is a commodity range into a luxury range and get a lot more money from exactly the same product. Not the beans, which are not Japanese anyway, but the kimono, which is Japanese, which is one of Japan's treasures that the world wants.
So, okay. Yes. Thank you very much. Nice opinion. And yes, we know. So we have a lot of kimono, and even now kimono is very cheap in Japan, and most of family and old women has a lot of kimonos in their storerooms, and after they passed away, these kimonos sold away, definitely. So that's why we found these kimonos, and we make this otedama. I think your idea is very good, and if it is possible, I'd like to challenge to using kimonos. But our concept is, in my presentation, I showed you that our community business is agriculture and community activation and social welfare. So we believe this concept is very good, but to make it work, it's quite difficult because we are non-professional organization. So yes, so now we are thinking about how to provide our project from now on. And I think your idea is very good, and I'll accept your idea in future. Thank you so much.
May I take the floor?
I'd like to begin by congratulating Noda-san for the presentation. For at least two reasons. I think one, they demonstrated that in practical sense, because there is government policy there, policy of regional revitalization. Coming up with what we saw is just one example of what is possible. So what's possible in terms of the activities that can be organized, the target groups that can benefit, it's a holistic attempt to bring about change. Now I think it's also important in trying to understand the buildings that citizens do in Japan, that we understand what Japan is, because otherwise we will be missing the point. Zarela did indicate a little earlier in her remark that maybe there are things that Malaysia cannot do. I can quite understand why she has a reservation. As someone who was in Japan for a very long time, and very familiar with Japan, she knows there are things that will take a lot of time before we can activate. But the things that I would like to quality of life. The Japanese are very concerned. Now, the quality of life here does not mean that if you live in Tokyo, your quality is good. No. They have values about certain things. And things like harmony, safety, security in terms of employment, not just employability, but how meaningful their contribution could be to society, and so on and so forth. So that's absolutely vital to understand. Quality of life. So, this Dharma project is an attempt to bring about high quality of life to be understood, but there are many other things that we do. But Japan faces some major problems, one of which is the declining population. This is why we talk about the need to increase the population, because the population aging, not only the declining population, but the increasing number of old people, the aged. I think this is very, very serious. So low population growth, very high turnover in terms of old people and so on. And this is going to affect the way Japan functions as a society. Japan has 3,200 or so municipalities in the whole country. Now, the role of municipalities is important because I submit that Japanese society is one of the most organized in the world, very highly organized. And part of this attempt to organize society is stimulated, if not maneuvered, navigated by municipalities, which means that at the very local level, people make decisions, create policies, and undertake them, implement them. So the problem is, of course, from 3,200, they've gone to 1,700. And there is a real fear that the number is going to go down still. If the population goes down, then the income goes down, and therefore it will affect the function. The other thing that was mentioned is the question of uneven economic focus. For example, it is inevitable that whatever the government does and whatever policies they have, because of the Olympics 2020, there is going to be an influx of new migrants from rural areas, other areas, to Tokyo. But that would be more temporarily caused by a specific phenomenon. I think the future of senior citizens, I think this was well demonstrated and before, but the whole idea, I think, is to get the whole society, whether old, young, in rural areas and others, because the case that I think was highlighted by the presentation is just in Kyushu. That's Kyushu is the Negeri Sembilan of Japan. Literally translated.
Yes, Professor Emeritus.
But everywhere else, in Hiroshima, for example, in Shobara, was mentioned by Zoraida, Onomichi is another area where there is a progressive assistance given by the municipality to encourage young people to come back. And did the young people come back? Yes, they did. But this is more recent data. Perhaps you are using the data of earlier data. In the more recent data, maybe also because of the support by the Prime Minister, I think Abe is like serious, in fact, to even his own government earlier, the first Prime Minister. So I think in many ways,
Yep.
one thing can be seen as one example of how we can develop our Mizan Kampung here, because as long as we are convinced that nothing nothing is impossible. And we can do it if we have the right ideas, the right frame of mind, the right people, and maybe the right institutions to lead the project.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor, for your kind word. Hontou ni arigatou gozaimasu for the panels, for their suroi presentation. Suroi means awesome in Japanese. So now may I invite Professor Dato' Dr. Hud Soleh to present a token of appreciation to the panelists. Dr. Zuraida and Dr. Kumiko can still remain on the stage. Okay, please welcome Dr. Zuraida Mustafa. Okay, please, Dr. Kumiko Date. Okay, and another one is for Miss Nawata Sanai. On behalf of Miss Nawata Sanai, please. Okay, thank you very much, Professor Dato' Dr. Hud Soleh, for the souvenir presentation.